The Montana Office of Public Instruction says it needs additional sponsors for its 2025 summer food service program. Last year, there were 100 sponsors and 280 sites for the summer food service program. The sites can be schools, community centers, parks, pools, libraries, basically places where kids gather in the summer months. Sponsors provide support, administrative and food services, and training. They're reimbursed at a set rate for meals served to program participants. Many of the program's meal sites are in areas where at least 50% of students qualify for free or reduced school lunches.
We really want to make sure that we are able to offer this program all throughout the state. So we are looking forward to sponsors and making sure that we can get our program into every corner of the state and provide those meals to students and families.
Last summer, the program served over 1 million meals to people under 18 in the Treasure State, including 90,000 through the Helena public school sites. We're just days away from a major deadline at the Montana legislature. Lawmakers could take action on hundreds of bills this week. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian has a closer look at where things stand ahead of Friday's transmittal deadline and what we can expect over the next 3 days.
Tuesday is the 45th day of the Montana legislative session, the halfway point. And in previous sessions, that would mean it was also the transmittal deadline, the date when most bills have to clear their first chamber or die. But this year, that deadline was pushed back 3 days to give more time to get through a rush of bills.
Listen, I'm glad that there's a transmittal deadline. Otherwise, legislators would just keep procrastinating into 2026, I'm sure. So I'm glad we have that deadline. It's always a rush like this at the end, but I think as far as the Senate sits, we haven't even done multiple boards yet, and I think we're set pretty good.
So far, more than 800 bills have been introduced in the Montana House, and more than 500 in the Senate. Any of those that don't spend money or affect state revenues have to clear one chamber by the 48th legislative day, which is Friday. House leaders expect to debate about 150 bills on the floor before transmittal, and Senate leaders say they'll likely hear around 100 bills Wednesday and Thursday. Legislative committees have been working overtime to determine which bills will make it to the floor for a full debate, many meeting for long hours last week, and some meeting on Saturday. On Monday and Tuesday, committees were scheduled to hear more than 120 bills.
Some of the bills had short hearings, but my view is if you bring a bill the last day, that's what you could expect. And a lot of those bills aren't ready, they're not well thought out, they're hastily drafted, and they deserve to die.
The House and Senate will both be spending all day Wednesday and Thursday on the floor, getting through as many bills as they can.
Most of the time, who's ever in the chair, so to speak, running the floor will be considerate and make sure that most people get the chance to comment. But there is, I would just say, some more urgency because we know the number of bills we have to get through. Yeah. And so in that sense, the hearings maybe aren't quite as robust as they might otherwise be on the floor.
If any bill is going to move on from the House or Senate floor, it has to pass both an initial vote and a final vote the following day. There's no debate on those final votes, so Friday's session is likely to wrap up much quicker than Wednesdays or Thursdays. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.